Good evening and welcome to the Monday, February 5th, 2024 meeting of the Fitchburg School Committee. And I call this meeting to order. I guess that's the part where I bang it. So please be advised that FATV is conducting an audio and video recording of this meeting for public broadcast. So I ask that anyone else in the audience who is recording this meeting to please identify themselves for the record now by standing and stating your name and city of residence. Seeing none, I would ask that all electronic devices be placed into silent mode at this time. Okay, let's do the salute to the flag. Mr. Peter Stevens, would you lead us?
Certainly. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. On the agenda, there is no executive session at this time. We will start with the reports of the school committee members and student reports. School committee chair, there is no report at this time. Resource subcommittee.
Resource subcommittee. We had a meeting on 1/17/24. We had grants to submit and grants to accept. That they're all on tonight's agenda, and they'll be going over tonight. We had an enrollment update. We discussed the budget calendar and the governor's budget that's to be released this month. Transportation bidding is open till January 31st. Bid documents for the food service proposal are due by January 25th, and I'm not sure, if we've received those yet, and our next meeting is February 27th.
Okay, thank you very much. The policies, school building needs subcommittee.
School building needs. That was also held on 1/17/24. It really was quite extensive, a report. I'll just hit a few of the things that took place. The fence around South Street Playground has been installed. However, a gate will have to be installed in the near future. The large boiler in Lonjo has been repaired. There were 2 tubes in it that were cracked and had to be replaced. The fire alarm panel at Memorial has been repaired and replaced. Security checks on the exterior doors were completed. The results, Rheingold, all doors secured. Crocker Elementary exterior gym door left unlocked. South Street door propped open. Door 24 had a hairpin in it. Memorial, all doors secure. Lonjo, all doors secure. Goodrich, all doors secure. FHS, all doors secure. Annual fire alarm inspection were completed during the week of 12/26. Annual state elevator inspection at the high school occurred on 12/26. Both elevators failed due to elevator pits need to be cleaned. The top of the elevator car needs to be cleaned. This has all been taken care of. Annual state elevator inspection at Lonjo occurred 12/26. The elevator failed because of the ship ladder that leads to the elevator room was pulled out of the wall. The ship ladder has been repaired, and we're waiting on the state to come back and approve. The electrical wiring, Cat 5 cable wiring for new Lonjo marquee sign was completed, and the sign has been installed. Just want to mention Mike Bolak from Bolak Landscaping donated labor for Fitchburg Heights to trim back some trees leading toward the building, as well as other miscellaneous landscaping. And there were a number of other just small things that were replaced in the school. Any questions?
I'm not sure I understood. What did you say about the elevators? Are they operating now?
Yes.
So all of
There was
those.
something, a ladder had come away from the wall, but it's been fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And
You mentioned many things.
the other ones, there was just dirt on top of the elevator and underneath, and it's all been cleaned, so it's all set.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Stevens. Policy subcommittee.
We met on January 30th. Superintendent Thompson let us know about the Mass Association of School Committee that will be coming the end of the month to meet with us to help us look at the different policies. And we looked at reviewing some of the changes that were being made to our field trip policy. We also, which there's a first reading for tonight, the AED program, the automated external defibrillation, so that we will be up to date with the American Heart Association. And that's about it.
Okay. Any questions? Okay, thank you. The Student Support Subcommittee.
Thank you so much, Madam Mayor, for this opportunity to address these critical issues that we are facing here in the Fitchburg Public Schools. The Student Support Subcommittee met on January 30th, and we approved the minutes of the previous minutes, and to have more transparency and being certain that Fitchburg Public School District is abiding by the Individual with Disability Education Act, and because it is so important that our students are guaranteed the right of a free, appropriate public education, question number 1 was addressed. The question was, what are we doing for the safety of our special education students who formally complain about being physically or sexually abused at their schools? This was addressed by the Director of Special Education, Mrs. Alicia Berospi, who stated that when a student or staff files a complaint or a grievance, there is a formal process known as Title IX investigation. Superintendent Thompson also explained that this investigation has a new team of overseers. Assistant Superintendent Glenda Colon is the new overseer of all students' investigation. Interim Director of Human Resources, Ms. Carrie Fabel, oversees all staff-related investigations. The investigators are the assistant principals, and the decision maker is typically the principal. Lastly, the appeals officer is the superintendent. Now, before this improved team of investigators, Superintendent Thompson expressed that the Human Resource Department Director, the previous one, Mr. John Harmon, was the Title IX coordinator, and that he, as the superintendent, made the decision to have a new team moving forward as something new in the district. Now, in alignment with Administrative Standard 2, our Special Education Director mentioned that part of the programming for students with more profound levels of disability, we embed safety measures within the elementary, middle, and high school curriculum by way of a program called Teach Town. Now, in regards to parents who does not feel that the solution yielded the desired result, the director explained the appeal process that goes to the superintendent, DCF, school resource officers, and the police department can be involved in the matter. School committee member Mrs. Reynolds shared that both her and myself met with a couple of guardians for approximately 45 minutes where we learned about a formal complaint that was made. Mrs. Reynolds added that the situation is tough for families, especially when they do not feel as though things are resolved. Assistant Superintendent Glenda Colon added that the goal is to collect as much evidence as possible from students to make final decisions. In addition, Superintendent Thompson said that other organizations may be involved, such as SAIN, the SANE team, and here Massachusetts Department of Children and Family, DCFS, follows a modern approach to child abuse intervention and investigation. With this, children are interviewed in a non-leading manner by a trained forensic interviewer in a child-friendly environment in an attempt to get to the root cause of the problems. Now, concerning abusive videos placed on social media, the director explained that the process is to reach out to the specific platform to request that the video be taken down immediately due to the nature and the age of students involved, and that the student posting the video may be disciplined for posting inappropriate videos. Question number 2. Are we making effort to recruit, hire, and retain a Black principal at Memorial Middle School for the 2024-25 academic school year? In alignment with Administrative Standard 2 under the Human Resource Management and Development Indicator, I stated that thus far I am aware that Fitchburg Public Schools only added a new assistant superintendent, and that is Mrs. Colon, and our high school principal, Mr. Braga, as administrators of color for this academic school year. I restated that with the diversity here in our district, we do not have a single Black administrator that is representative of our population. Now, in response to human resource, in response, our human resource director shared the draft timeline for the principal search. She explained that all postings are mailed out to staff and posted on the following sites: School Spring, LinkedIn, Massachusetts Association of School Superintendents, the Massachusetts Partnership for Diversity in Education, the New England School Development Council, and a couple of national associations, HBCU and NAHSA. Superintendent Thompson stressed once again that the diversification of the Fitchburg Public School District is a collaborative effort that needs to involve the city, our mayor, with all due respect, and others. He also quoted the Massachusetts Education of Center research statistics, who reported that on the slow growth of hiring and educators of color. The final question is, are we walking down the straight path of ethical behavior when making decisions and addressing complaints? In alignment with Administrative Standard 2 on the Law, Ethics, and Policies Indicator, Superintendent Thompson answered in terms of training. He said there is a yearly mandatory training for all educators that address ethical behaviors, discipline, 504 plans, decision-making, gifts receiving, 51As, etc. Additionally, all administrators get trained through the year on conducting investigations, correct discipline laws, Title IX, and the availability of our attorneys for additional questions. He mentioned that he is trying to reevaluate where we are as a district and looking to partner with Equity Imperative, whose contact person is Mr. Matthew Rodriguez, with additional goals for our strategic plan and making sure that all administrators are comfortable leading. Now, due to time, we were not able to do justice to all three questions, but we will continue to address those at our next meeting. A City of Fitchburg resident, Mrs. Jackie Wedge, reminded us that some of the serious issues were not mentioned, such as family traveling long distance and physical abuse. Lastly, for our next meeting, we are suggesting that these two areas be addressed, and also talk some more about Administrative Standard number 1, which is dealing with instructional leadership and curriculum indicator. Also, Administrative Standard 3 with family and community engagement, Standard 4 with professional culture, and finally, a motion was made by Ms. Reynolds to adjourn, and I second the motion. The meeting was adjourned at 5:58 p.m. Once again, thank you so much, Madam Mayor, for allowing me this opportunity to be able to share these critical issues that we are facing. We just want our students to be well taken care of, to have the best environment, the best educators in front of them, so that they can obtain their free, appropriate education according to the law. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Dr. Knight. Any questions, comments from committee members? Okay, we'll move on. School Personnel Subcommittee, there is no report at this time. And a report from our student representatives.
Good evening. Here are some of the student events and activities that are happening across the district this winter. At Fitchburg High School, many of our winter athletics teams are making a push for the postseason, so please come to support the Red Raiders as the winter season winds down. Also related to athletics, Fitchburg High School will be hosting a boys and girls basketball clinic for ages 5 to 13, starting on Monday, February 19th, and ending on February 22nd from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Online registrations will be posted to social media, and walk-ins are welcome. Fitchburg High School, in collaboration with Gear Up, will be hosting its Black History Showcase on February 16th, which will highlight fashion, music, poetry, and dance. Streaming information will be forthcoming. This year's school musical, the spring musical for Fitchburg High School, has been announced. It is SpongeBob the Musical, so interested students can audition on February 12th, 13th, and 14th after school. At Memorial, Memorial will be hosting a family glow night on February 15th at 5 p.m. This will be focused on student goal setting and family partnership building. There will be free raffles, activities, food, and glow sticks. At Long Show, advisory classes will be holding a February Hearts attendance challenge from February 1st to February 14th. Classes with top overall attendance have the opportunity to win prizes such as free tickets to the February dance.
Crocker students have been hard at work developing new clubs with the United Way Youth Venture Program. One of the initiatives that students are engaging in is addressing youth homelessness. At South Street Early Learning Center, the idea of embracing the spirit of winter and learning about topics such as snow and ice and Valentine's Day has been going on. At McKay, they're holding a Winter Wonderland family brunch Saturday, February 10th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And at Rheingold, save the date for the first annual Tiny Art Show. Get ready for a night of mini masterpieces by over 100 of our talented artists on March 8th from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions, comments? Okay, very good. All right, we'll move forward in the agenda to the approval of the minutes of the previous school committee meeting from January 8th, 2024. Do we have a motion for approval?
I don't think we have.
Yeah, so it was emailed to everyone, but it wasn't included.
Wasn't included in the packet?
So we'll have to wait till next time.
Okay, we will wait till the next meeting for the approval of those minutes. Next, we have communications from the Mass Nurses Association.
Eric?
That's right. Thank you very much. My name is Eric. I work for the Massachusetts Nurses Association, and I'm here speaking on behalf of the Fitchburg school nurses who have asked to affiliate with the MNA. Tonight at the school committee meeting, we're hoping that the school committee will voluntarily recognize the union and also their affiliation with us. The interesting thing about the school nurses here is that they've already been functioning essentially as a school, as a union. They have a contract that they've been negotiating for many, many years, for decades. They have a grievance procedure that's followed by both sides, and they have a wage scale that's updated every year. But they asked to join the Massachusetts Nurses Association for a variety of reasons. They looked at other unions, but they came to us for one specific reason, and that's because we are a union of nurses, but more than that, we're a community of nurses. A union is a community that represents, its members and has one guiding charge, which is the benefit of its members. So they asked to join the Massachusetts Nurses Association, again, because we are the community that represents the majority of nurses in Massachusetts, and we're so privileged and honored to do that. For school nurses in particular, that the request, to join the MNA has increased after COVID, obviously. Before COVID, nurses were seen as, valuable and vital assets to a school. But during and after COVID, they've been seen as essential, obviously. I've heard from so many people in all the schools that I visited, from teachers and students and parents, that they wouldn't have been able to pull through the pandemic without the guidance and the resources that the nurses provide. I've heard that so many times. And yet often, our school nurses are very alone. You may have a school of 50 teachers and 2 nurses. You might have an elementary of 20 teachers and 1 nurse. So the nurses are very, very isolated. If somebody in a hospital has a seizure, for instance, you're going to get multiple nurses and their colleagues coming to help out. But a nurse, even if they're in the building with other nurses, and usually they're not, but even if they are, usually they're the only ones that can respond. And that's a frightening thing, to be the only resource in that position, to be able to save the life or help the health of an individual. And so the reason that so many nurses have asked to be a part of the MNA is because we make them feel a little bit less alone. Now, we obviously can't put more nurses in the building. We try to. That's not something that we can always achieve, but you are connected to the wider nursing community. And that means, not just our ludicrous amount of emails. Sorry, folks, you're about to get a lot more emails. You can opt out, though. It's not just emails, and it's not just our Facebook page. It's not just the conferences that we provide. It's not just the continuing education units that only we provide to nurses. It's also knowing that you're part of a community, that you're able to collaborate and workshop and find solace and support with people who are going through the same experiences as you are. So again, we're asking the committee to voluntarily recognize this union with the MNA. I'm not going to say too much more because we have two of our wonderful leaders who, again, have been leading this union formally with the Fitchburg Public Schools, and they can speak much more informatively and intentionally about their decision here. But again, we would ask you to make this motion and go forward. But I know that they're speaking at public comment, so I was told that they could speak right at the top of public comment. So I'll end my portion now, and hopefully they'll get a chance to speak next. Thanks.
I'm not sure if we have to recognize, but I'd like to make a motion that we recognize the MMA as the bargaining unit for our local nurses.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and second to recognize the MNA as the bargaining unit for the school nurses.
Roll call vote.
Yeah. Should we have a roll call? Is this a roll call vote?
Okay, Mrs. England, yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you. Mrs. Jeffries?
Absolutely, yes.
Thank you. Dr. Knight?
Yes.
Thank you. Mrs. Reynolds?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Walsh?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Stevens?
Yes.
Thank you. Mayor Squalia?
Aye.
Yes, unanimous.
Okay. For public comment?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Part of this, okay. So we'll have communications from the,
We're not done with communications. So.
for the Mass Nurses Association? Right, so communications regarding that, you're welcome to speak now.
My name is Jacqueline Lassard, and I'm the chairman of the Fitchburg Nurses Association, the bargaining unit that represents the Fitchburg Public School nurses. Thank you for your past acknowledgement of our unit, for bargaining with us in good faith, and for hearing us this evening. As you heard, Eric, you stole a few of my lines. We're here this evening to affiliate our existing union with the Massachusetts Nurses Association. And the reason that we're doing it is to connect with a wider body of nurses across Massachusetts that will help us to collaborate and open the door for resources. Our ultimate goal in doing this is to help be stronger. And in Fitchburg, as we've said, we've already been recognized as a union. And we've been negotiating our contracts since the 1990s, since we came over from the Board of Health. We've had a strong working relationship with central office, and we look forward to that continuing in the future. This is merely a way for us to broaden our possibilities. I'm very pleased to say that 100% of the school nurses have voted to take this step, and I'm very proud at their representation here this evening. So thank you. Thank you very much for unanimously voting for us to be recognized and to join the Massachusetts Nurses Association.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate that. Thank you to everybody. I was actually the nursing chair for 15 years, so I've negotiated.
Yeah, your name?
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Malcolm Lilly. I've been the school nurse in the district for 27 years and negotiated many contracts. And I don't really see our relationship has always been very amicable, mutual with administration and school committee. And I don't see anything changing. So thank you all very much.
Thank you. Any other on the Nurses Association? Okay.
Just one.
Yes.
I would just like to thank all the nurses for all their service, and particularly my friend, Mr. Lilly, as a school administrator for 31 years, and I would walk into You know, Malcolm, would you take my blood pressure right now? You know? Thank you again, everybody.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to public comment. We have public comments of no more than 5 minutes in length. Were asked to be submitted to the superintendent via email by noon today. Were there any public comments?
Not by email.
Not by email. And there is an opportunity for public comment on the Zoom. Is that correct?
There is, but there is nobody on Zoom for public comment.
Nobody on Zoom for public comment. Okay. So for public comment tonight, I will make a brief statement. There are a number of people attending this meeting tonight, and we understand why you are here. So before beginning public comment, I want to make sure that we address what the public comment for the school committee is for. This is a meeting of the school committee to address issues within the school committee's jurisdiction. For example, as a school committee, we have the authority to adopt a budget, make policy, and to hire and evaluate the superintendent. We do not have the authority to address any matter related to personnel that we do not appoint. This includes teachers, paraprofessionals, food service workers, custodians, clerical employees, building principals, other administrators, and most employees of the Fitchburg Public Schools. As a result, it is not appropriate for the school committee to accept public comment, either positive or negative, related to any employee that we do not appoint. If you are here hoping to speak about an employee that we do not appoint, like a building principal, that would not be appropriate for public comment at this meeting. This does not reflect any judgment about whether I or the other school committee members may agree or disagree about the substance of what you'd want to share. It is simply not within our purview to consider such comments. Please direct your comments towards matters under the authority and jurisdiction of the school committee. Having said that, anyone in the audience wishing to make a public comment of no more than 5 minutes in length are welcome to the podium at this time.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Sally Cragen. I live at 1138 Oak Hill Road. I also serve as a city councilor in Fitchburg, and I'm a very proud school committee alumni. And I came here because there's an item on our agenda tonight, which is dog license poster contest winners, and we will not have those tonight. So for those who looked at the agenda, hoping to see lovely kids and beautiful artwork, maybe even a dog, come back February 26th. We are scheduling it, the event for Monday, February 26th, and then the trophy and goodie bag presentation for Tuesday, March 3rd or 4th. It's that first Tuesday in March. So we will see everyone then, and it's always nice to be at school committee. Thank you all for your hard work. I know how hard it is.
Thank you, Councillor Cragen. Any other public comment?
Hi, my name is Amanda Green. I'm a proud mom of 5 children, 4 of which graduated from Fitchburg Public, and 2 proudly of Miss Curry, and I understand you don't want people's names thrown out there, but I did want to address the way that bullying is handled for children with disabilities. 3 of my children out of the 5 have learning disabilities and were very bullied in school. The way that it was handled was that my children were removed from the classroom and stuck into a room right next to the principal's office. That made my children feel like they were the ones that did something wrong, that there was something wrong with them, and it made them feel less than a person. And that is the biggest reasons why Fitchburg Public had failed my older 2 and why they ended up with Miss Curry at Goodrich Academy. I just want to, address that because I feel like, They shouldn't be made to feel like they did something wrong when they didn't. They were bullied. They were removed. That was their solution at 2 different schools. I won't name them because, it's within the same school district, and I'm sure that it doesn't really matter because the same thing probably would have happened at the other schools because that's how it was handled, I just feel like that it really needs to be addressed on how the bullying is handled. Peer mediation does nothing. It makes the bullying worse. My 2 older children were put into a room with their bullier that they have had throughout middle school. They were made to sit down with them and try to have a conversation with them. And as soon as they left that room, they were teased, relentlessly teased, told that, they're a crybaby, tattletaling, and of course, a lot worse words than that were used because that's just the way that bullying works. I just think that there needs to be a new approach to that. And that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Green.
Evening, folks.
Good evening.
My name is Ron. I'm a parent from Goodrich Academy. I've had 4 children go to that school already. I've had 3 of them graduate. My oldest daughter, she's 22 years old. She a victim of a lot of abuse when she was a child, and she was very scared to go to regular public schools. So I put her in Goodrich Academy. She thrived in that school. She got the superintendent's award where she couldn't learn anything else from any other school besides this one specific school with Miss Curry. I have a 21-year-old who is disabled. She's very intelligent. She's a smart girl, but she won't come out of her shell. She is very to herself, but intelligent. Graduated with honors, got the Abigail Award with Miss Curry. I have another daughter who just graduated. She's 18 years old. She wanted to be a school teacher. She also got the superintendent award. Now, because you guys have pulled Miss Curry from that school, this child no longer wants to be a school teacher for Goodrich Academy. I have 2 other children that go there right now. All my kids are honor roll students with Miss Curry. Now you guys put somebody else in her place. Why?
I'm sorry, we cannot comment on...
It's public records. Yes, you may. Do I have to put a FOIA request in for it?
I'm sorry, school committee members cannot comment and public comment, and we cannot comment on personnel matters.
This is a public meeting, correct? I'm asking for public information that needs to be addressed.
We could contact the school superintendent after this.
But I'm asking, I'm addressing my grievances to the committee. And this is where you guys fail because we're not getting any information from nowhere and no one. We're being told that Ms. Curry's being pulled out for some...
Sir, I apologize, but this is not under the jurisdiction of the school committee.
How is it not?
So I would ask that you direct your comments towards matters that are under this jurisdiction.
But that is a matter of the school committee.
The school committee does not have jurisdiction over matters
how
of hiring or firing of the...
She hasn't been fired, has she?
Correct.
Is she on a leave? Is she not coming back? Or what's going on?
Just so you know, public comment, both at school committee and at city council, is just that. It's public comment. You state what you want to say, and you sit down. There's no discussion at all during public comment. There's no questions asked, no questions answered. And that's how it has always been, and that's how it will remain.
How can I get this information, sir?
I know as much as you do of what's happening, because it's a personnel issue, and personnel issues, if this was a discussion point, personnel issues are not discussed in public. Nothing is...
That's public information.
Not a personnel issue, it isn't.
Oh, yes, sir. You guys work for me.
Thank you, Mr. Walsh. Sir, I would ask that you contact the superintendent after this meeting.
I pay my taxes here. I pay you guys a salary. I want
Okay, sir, I'm sorry, but I'll have to ask you to sit down if you cannot. I apologize, but this is the way that this...
Where did he go? It's okay. Just record. Yeah?
Can we just step outside, please?
No.
I'm going to ask you to step
No, you're not.
May I say, I just want to say something. I want to reiterate what they've said. It's, I've been here for quite a while.
Yes, ma'am.
I always want to respond. I always have something to think and say. But the rules are that I have to be silent. Now, you're questioning that rule, but that is the rule.
But the thing is,
I know all the buts. I'd love to talk to you after a meeting or something, but publicly, this is our rule. And it seems contorted, doesn't it? Because you think that you can come here and get information, but you can't.
The public information is what I'm trying to ask right now.
I can't tell you.
How not, though?
Personnel is not public information.
He was just here, wasn't he? Why did he leave? I don't understand. That's where I'm lost. And you can't do nothing about me standing here.
Yes.
No, you cannot.
If you're disorderly, then I
I'm
can.
not disorderly. I'm talking.
They're asking you that your time is up. 33 seconds, and your time is up.
Okay, that's 33 seconds. I still got 28 seconds. Remember, you work for me, boss.
Yeah, I could use a pay raise.
No, well, you're not going to happen. I just want to know what happened. Like, what's going on? Every one of us is left in the dark.
You'll have to direct your comments to, the school superintendent or the members of the school committee via.
Why did he leave before the public can stand up and say anything?
This is public comment? Yes, sir.
No, that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking why the superintendent had left. He was here, correct?
He's here.
Okay, so why can't you answer the questions?
Yes, please.
Sir, I understand your frustration, but currently, like the communication I've put out, we are currently in an investigation stage.
Okay.
I cannot comment on what's going on right now because I don't have any information. The investigation's going on.
So this investigation's been going on for how long?
Since the 16th of January.
Of January. It's been almost a month, and you're telling me there's still no information about it?
Correct.
How not?
Right now, the investigator, it's in his hands. I have not received.
Do you know the investigator's name?
I do.
Can I have that?
You can.
Okay. Can I have it written down, please, so I can contact them?
Information to you, absolutely.
Okay, I will step to the side and I'll wait for that, please. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Moving on, are there anyone else out in the audience that wish to make a public comment? Okay. Seeing none, we will move on. Superintendent's report.
Thank you. This evening, we are back discussing the naming of Crocker Field. And we met last time in January to discuss naming Crocker Field after two longtime coaches. And you were presented with the information from Mr. Gaskin-Gay. Tonight, we have Mr. Gaskin-Gay here again this evening to answer any questions you may have for him. In addition, we are asking for a vote this evening. I think it's the first action item based on naming of the track facility at Crocker Field. So, Mr. Gaskin-Gay.
Yes, it's not Crocker Field, it's the track facility that we want, we're asking to be named. And I don't know if there are any questions. I spoke last time, and you've had a chance to mull it over. I hope you give it positive consideration.
I'd like to make a motion, and if the wording isn't what you would like it to be, please feel free to ask me to change it, but approve the naming of the track facility at Crocker Field to be named the Erkki Kuuttinen / Chris Woods Track Facility.
Yes.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion made and second. Is this does this require a roll call vote?
I think.
Or unit?
I don't think so.
I'm sorry, who is the second?
This is Jeffrey.
Thank you.
Okay.
But it requires a vote.
Huh? Yes.
Not a roll call vote.
Right, yes. Yes, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? It is unanimous. The Erkki
Thank you
Kuuttinen
very
and Chris
much.
Woods Track Facility. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gaston-Gay.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to the next piece. As Sally said, we will not be talking about the dog license poster contest winners this evening. So we look forward to seeing the students on February 26th.
February 26th.
Yep. This evening, we are fortunate to have Mr. Knoll and the students at Rheingold Elementary here this evening to talk a little bit about the hydroponic towers and growing tents at Rheingold.
Looks like we got snacks, too.
Yes, all right.
Evening, guys.
Evening.
Good evening. Hi, everyone. Thank you for coming.
So, I have a couple of helpers, waiters, waitresses. They're going to come by and give you guys some menus that we have prepared for you. All right. You guys can go ahead and do that. Don't be scared. They won't bite. Go ahead.
Hi.
Hey, thank you. What would you like to give me? Just
Thank you.
anything?
Thank you very much.
We also have some samples of food that we've grown at our school that we would like for
Thank
you guys
you.
to try if you would like, if you didn't get to have dinner
Ooh.
tonight. You've been here.
Thank you.
So these guys are going to come around, pass these out. Thank you. We have a special delivery for Mr. Thompson. As
Oh,
promised.
those are the huts, right?
They'll wake you up.
I was told not to eat them right now, right?
They'll wake you up. They'll give you a good 10 minutes. Nothing crazy. So we have romaine lettuce for you for some salads. We also have any people that like to try hot. We have cayenne peppers for you. We have some pesto as well, made from our basil plants. We have way more salad than I was expecting. I don't know if anybody in the crowd is hungry, but if you are, let me know. You guys can start passing those out if you'd like. Yeah, just give one to everybody. That's fine.
Ooh, thank you.
Or
This
if
whole
you have
thing?
anybody at home that likes hot, you can take these home. So these are green beans.
I get the big one? Do we share this?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Do we put this on top of the salad?
Put them on the menus. Or the,
Those are the huts right there.
we call it, not menus, placemats.
Thank
Oh,
you.
those are the hot ones in the Ziploc bag.
Oh, yeah. I don't have anything hot.
So is all of this now being grown indoors?
Currently, yes. Everything that you are consuming right now has been grown indoors. And the hope is that in the spring, summertime, we're going to start growing some stuff outside. We just have to work through the logistics of how do we grow stuff outside that we're going to consume without using anything that's going to be hazardous or harmful to the kids and anybody else. So, here, I'll help you guys out. I was a waiter in a past life.
Thank you very much.
I have silverware too. You don't need it.
Thank you.
Ooh, croutons, too.
Wow.
Big croutons. Here.
Is this couscous?
Yes.
Looks like couscous.
Couscous? Is that what we got?
I'm going to pass on the hot
Those
pepper.
are kale
Okay?
beans that actually Chris's father prepared
What are
last night.
I'll take one.
Kale beans?
So are these very hot?
Kale leaves?
Are these hot?
And
Okay.
in there?
Carrots.
All right. Okay. All right.
Kale leaves, carrots,
Okay.
mushroom?
All right.
Where's that?
Those are
Tomatoes, carrots.
tomatoes, carrots, avocado.
Are we
And what are these?
right now?
What are these? Like bean sprouts?
Your guess is as good as mine.
I don't have the green ones. No, thank you.
Can I get an
Ooh.
extra lettuce to bring home to my wife?
Absolutely.
If you don't mind? Thank you. Two's good for me. All right. Thank you.
I'll start at this end. If you
Oh,
want to
yeah.
pass them down by all means.
Okay.
This was made from our school nurse, so.
What, the spoon?
All right, you guys can.
Yeah, here.
You're going to introduce
Yeah,
your,
let's pass it
your
down.
assistants here?
Yep.
Some in the salad.
This is fantastic.
You guys go ahead, pull up a seat. They want to hear from you.
Never got dinner at a meeting before.
Thank you. This is a
Love that.
Dinner and a show. I don't know, do we have the slides available?
Oh, I do.
Oh,
That's my fault. I'm too busy preparing my food, my dish. I got excited. There was food.
I know you guys have long nights.
Is it? Yeah.
All right.
Dressing?
Here. It's dressing.
Okay.
Use that.
Now, I apologize in advance. I might have spruced these up, but threw these guys a curveball, so some of them might be something that they haven't seen before, but I told them to be confident because, you were there. You were part of it.
No, I'm good.
So, honestly, I'm here to help them, but again, I'm Mr. Knoll. I teach fourth grade at Rheingold. I was here a couple of months ago to kind of present to you guys what we had been doing with the Mass DESE Fresh grant that we had been granted last year. So that was the story of what we did when we got the grant. Good?
Delicious.
Love it. Love it. But everybody loves a good origin story. So again, how did we get started? It didn't start by just waking up one day and deciding to go for this grant. This actually started because earlier in the year, we had been growing plants on our own just as a hobby, just kind of freestyling and trying it out and seeing what we could do. So with that said, that grant doesn't happen without these students. Now, granted, there are other students that aren't here that also deserve the praise, but these four right here have demonstrated time and time again that they are future leaders, point blank, as you can see even being here right now. So again, these fifth graders have given up their free time, they've given up their recesses, they've spent time coming back to my class, not only to prepare this slideshow, but to help my fourth graders at whatever they need help with. So if we're working on multiplication, they help. If they need to have somebody proofread their reading or their writing, they help. These guys put others ahead of themselves, and again, without them, this doesn't happen. So helping hands make for a lighter load. Again, Mr. Hover, the paraprofessional that was in my room last year, he was instrumental as well, and I can't thank him enough. But again, these guys right here prove what happens when you empower students and give them the ability to show what they really have. So with that said, I'll stop talking and let these guys tell you about last year and how we got started.
At first, this was a class hobby, some fun with artificial sun. As the year went on, we wanted to grow plants so everyone could see, use, have, and share with others.
Introduce yourself, by the way. Who's this right here?
My name is Xavier.
Getting started, we started to borrow lights. Ms. Kurt donated her tent. Students started bringing in seeds. Mr. Knoll started buying soil, bug spray, and anything else that we needed. Just in a few weeks, we were generating our own plants. And my name's Larissa.
You know what? You should speak closer to the microphone so the people who are watching on TV will be able to hear you as well.
Can you repeat your name?
Turn it in.
You could pull up a chair.
Pull up a chair.
Yeah.
You guys want to scooch?
How does this work?
Honey, can you repeat your name?
My name is Larissa.
Larissa?
Larissa, do you want to read that one more time so we can hear it?
Sure.
All right.
Getting started, we decided to borrow lights. Ms. Kerr donated her tent. Students started bringing in seeds. Mr. Knoll started buying soil, bug spray, and anything else that we may have needed. In just a few weeks, we were germinated our old plants.
Great job.
My name is Leland, and hard work. At first, we did it for fun, but then it became an actual hard-working job. We learned to transplant, clone, and troubleshoot problems almost on the daily. Farming is hard work.
Very important work, though.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, my name is Maddie, and one tent soon turned into 2 tents. Not long after, we were growing watermelon, sunflowers, and basil. Students could even bring in plants from home so that we could rehabilitate them back to life.
Good job.
Sunflowers. We grew sunflowers, and they grew really big. Our biggest one was more than 4 feet long.
Wow.
We are planning to grow sunflowers outside around our school garden this spring.
Using what we had. We wanted to grow more plants, but we didn't have enough pots so we had to improvise. We decided to take big water bottles and grow the plants in them. We used yardsticks to help them grow. After a little bit of time, the plants started to grow.
That's one thing I have to interrupt on and say that last year was great because it was just constant problem solving, constant teamwork, constant how do we make this thing work if we don't have what we need. And they'll tell you, we started figuring it out one thing at a time. If it came to cutting 5-gallon bottles in half, so be it. If it came to finding every yardstick that was on the first floor of our building, so be it. If it was string, tape, whatever it was that we needed, we eventually found it and we put it to use. And we kept going no matter what the obstacle was. We always kept going. And again, it was thanks to these guys because it wasn't just me coming up with these ideas all the time.
Bugs, nature buttheads. In the beginning, we had flies, aphids, bugs. They were annoying and a problem, so we used many solutions in the tent. We even tried making our own, but we ended up harming our plants more. We used organic spray, fly paper, and traps.
Those bugs. They're always a problem in my garden.
Shutting it down. After February vacation, we shut it down because bugs and our plants would not produce. Mr. Knoll also ran out of money for all the projects. After a week later, Mr. Sparks sent an email to Mr. Knoll about the MA Des Fresh grant. So they went for it and got a lot of money that we're going to start all projects in and out of school.
Grant equals plan. Mr. Knoll, Mr. Sparks, Mr. Semenza, and Miss Lucius all collaborated to help complete the grant proposal. We got almost $30,000 and had 2 months to spend it. We bought a lot of supplies like soil, lights, seeds, and the towers. Hydroponic towers. On the last day of school, we started building the towers for our hydroponic plants. So far, we have 3 fully operational, and most of the food we brought tonight comes from these towers.
On the left are samples that we're going to give out to all the students at a recent lunch. On the right is a picture of our brand new fence in the garden. It is 20 times 40 feet and was erected on the last day of school in 2023.
Can you guys read that? Because if not, I'll do it for you. I apologize.
Yeah, I could read it.
I'll go for it. I'll tell. So we talked about it. I might have spoon-fed them a little bit, but I think we can all agree, again, based on the last conversation when we had our presentation, that the thing that we want to see is that these guys helped get this off the ground last year. They've been helping keep it off the ground this year. However, in a couple of months, they're going to graduate and go to middle school. The question becomes, what then are they going to be able to do to help perpetuate these types of ideas, especially when it comes to growing plants in and outside of our schools? So our hope is that we can come up with some way to develop a pipeline from elementary to middle to high school, so that way students like these guys, these leaders right here, have an ability to lead and show others everything that they've learned and everything that they're learning thus far. I mean, again, these guys have done some really amazing things, and I'm excited to see what they can do in the future, and I want to make sure that I can help provide them that opportunity just like we did here. So with that said, again, we thank you guys for giving us the time tonight. We really appreciate it. We hope that you enjoyed your food. And if you have any questions for these awesome leaders right here, by all means.
About how much time every week do you spend tending to the gardens that you have now in school?
These guys, it's a little different as fifth grade. Again, I don't see them as much as my students. I see them when they're giving up their free time. Okay. But again, if I needed them, if I said, hey, Maddie and Larissa, I need you guys to go down to the towers in the cafeteria and wipe them all down for me real quick, they would do that. If I need these guys to go get me some sort of supplies or water or XYZ, these guys are more than willing to do it. They come visit every morning before their class and say hi. So again, these guys make themselves readily available throughout the day to me when they don't have to. And again, it goes a long way. Their help makes it easier for my fourth graders, which then frees them up to be able to do more things or help me as needed.
I just wanted to take a moment to recognize the students and say thank you so much for speaking out for your school community. We are so proud of you, and we're so happy that you're here. I'm also extremely grateful that you brought me a snack during such a late night, so thank you so much. And thank you to our families who really are doing the work of really supporting our children in their learning and giving them their voice. So thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Jeffries?
I just wanted to say that I had the wonderful opportunity to be able to tour Rheingold in December with Mr. Knoll, and I got to see the towers and see the children, and I was blown away. It was amazing to see. I encourage anyone, if you have any time, I'm sure you would be willing to take some more people around. The kids are so invested in this, and it's not just, the whole school is. I mean, from the secretaries to the nurses, everyone. And the kids were writing. We have the writing here. And when I was there, they were writing about the plants and teaching so that they could teach others about the particular plants that they were growing. It's just amazing. And I think it's exciting to think that this could grow across the district. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you, kids.
Ms. Reynolds?
I'm looking ahead to vacation time, summertime. Can you keep it up? Just an addendum to that is perhaps some incentives could be given to the students to tend to them through when they're not in school, like through credit or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Didn't you come before us with a lady who knew an awful lot about planting?
Yes, that was Miss Lucia. She helped me secure the grant. Yes. So that was like part two. You're getting part one now. We're kind of working backwards on it.
Right,
so
because at the time it almost sounded like, what are we going to do if she's gone? She's retiring. But
well, she's retired, but she's not. I hear everybody's been recruiting her, so I don't think she's fully retired. But I haven't heard from her lately, so she might be on an island.
District.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doing something.
But, okay, thank you.
Oh, she's not getting away from me that easy. No.
Yeah, I just wanted to kind of echo what Ms. Colon said. Thank you, boys and girls. What you're doing is amazing work, and thank you for all the parents here this evening. One of my highlights is the fact that you actually grow the food and actually bring it to the cafeteria, as seen here in this picture, and the students get to sample it. Mm-hmm. I think it's an awesome piece to see from actually beginning something from a seed and going through that whole cycle and actually bringing it to the cafeteria to eat. I think it's wonderful. And I was there actually this past Friday, Ms. Jeffries, and I went to every classroom, and I've seen it from the beginning of the school year. And everything is in, I would say, full bloom at this point.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep, it really is.
It's amazing. It's great to see. So.
I love it. Full bloom. Everything's growing.
It's nice when everything's dark and covered in white outside. You go into Rheingold, and it makes you feel better. So.
Yeah. So kids, you really give up your recess time to help grow? That's amazing. I appreciate it very much. The food.
I love the snack. I ate mine
This is
already.
amazing. You know how to get to our hearts. That's through our stomachs. Thank you very much. Great job, everyone.
Thank you for having us, guys. Appreciate it.
Well done. I think it's going to be hard to beat that presentation.
Yeah, right?
If I could
yes.
make a comment.
Mr. Stevens.
Mr. Thompson, this is something I've talked to you before about for our budget.
Can we get a picture maybe of the mayor with the, Mr. Noel and the kids?
Sure.
The superintendent?
Absolutely. Want to come right up here in front?
Sure.
Good job, everybody. Way to go.
Good job. Good reading.
I'll get out of the way. Hey, Matt, when you start during art and mentioned before, we have a huge compost pile. Yeah, and then, whatever we can do to back up into the garden. Some has to be turned.
Oh, do you want the menus back, or is
Do you want it back,
the
or do we
writing,
get
is
to
this
keep
for
them?
us to keep, or do you want it back?
I'm going to put it on my fridge.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
Okay,
Put them up at Rheingold.
Just like put some of this stuff back in.
I think, Mr. Stevens, you wanted to make a comment?
yes, that comment, that I've talked to you before, I've talked in the past about putting money in the budget for each school for like mini grants that for, like Mr. Knoll, they were fortunate to get a grant, but if each school had a little sum of money, what they could hand out to teachers for mini grants if they had ideas to do similar things or other things, so that each principal would have a little money. So I've talked about this before, and I've talked about putting this in the budget, so there would be seed money for teachers in each building if they had some kind of project, whether it's like yours or something to do with art or music or literacy, that there would be seed money for them to get started on that project. They go through their own building principal for it.
Yeah, Mr. Roach and I are talking about that now as we develop next year's budget, and we're looking at adding some line items to support that work.
Yep, very good. Thank you.
Thanks again, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
For having us.
All right. Last item on the agenda this evening is we have a special guest from our high school this evening, Emma Broussard, who is our college and career coordinator at Fitchburg High School. And she is here this evening to talk a little bit about all the career pathways and early college initiatives that we have happening at the high school. I'm really excited tonight. She's also going to be talking about our new MVP program with Monty Tech, to give you some information on kind of where we're at and what next steps are with students. So without further ado.
Do I plug in?
Yes, Emma, we're going to make sure, Emma has a presentation. Can you help her project?
I'm assuming.
I think you could plug that in, but, all right.
The Wizard of Oz is coming from behind the curtain.
You ate it already? I did not. Taking some home.
Chewing.
You're taking it with you.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry. Thank you for having me. My name is Emma Broussard. I'm the College and Career Coordinator at Fitchburg High School. The position was created at the beginning of last school year to support all of the new programming that we have at the high school around college and career readiness. So we're going to be talking about, hold on. Sorry about that. I opened the wrong folder. There we go. So we're going to be talking about 4 of the college and career readiness programs that we have: the Early College Academy, our Innovation Pathways, our Future Educator Academy, and our new MVP Academy. So first is the Early College Academy, and that's our partnership with Mount Wachusett and Fitchburg State University. The purpose of Early College is to create and maintain partnerships with our local high schools and local colleges and universities to give Massachusetts students early access to college, specifically first-generation college students. So Early College was launched by DESE as a part of the High Quality College and Career Pathways Initiative back in January of 2017. The first 5 designations in the state were granted in May 2018, and now within the state there are 58 high schools in Massachusetts that have this designation. Fitchburg High School was one of the earlier adopters, so Fitchburg received designation along with Leominster, Gardner, and Sizer to make up the North Central Mass Early College Academy, and our 2 higher ed partners are Mount Wachusett and Fitchburg State. So our students take classes with both of those colleges. So the Early College initiative at the DESE level really operates under these 5 design principles, which are equitable access, academic pathways, enhanced student support, connections to career, and high quality and deep partnerships. And you'll see this actually come up again, as these are also the 5 kind of guiding principles for the innovation pathways for DESE as well. So increased state support for early college has definitely helped with the growth of our early college program. We receive grant money every year to support this program and our students. And as you can see, we've almost doubled our students over the last 4 years. Fitchburg High School students have taken 2,520 college credits since 2021, and which would cost them almost $700,000 in state tuition. So there's no cost to the students or the families to take these classes. It's all free to them, which makes it, really equitable for our students. Benefits, obviously, the big savings in money. They're completing high school graduation requirements and college requirements at the same time. So, for example, instead of taking your senior English class, you can take English 101 and English 102 through Mount Wachusett, and it's going to count for both things for you. College courses are right in your high school schedule, so we have our 6-period day up at the high school, and their college class is just woven right in there. The professors come to our building and serve our students there. So it takes away that barrier that a lot of students face when it comes to transportation and access. All these courses can be transferred to most 2- and 4-year colleges and universities. They pretty much are guaranteed to transfer at any of our state universities. And then our students have had really good luck with the private universities and colleges as well. And then there's that ease of transition into college. So before you've even gotten onto a college campus, you've already started to learn, how to read a syllabus, how to navigate platforms like Blackboard and Web4, and emailing your professors, doing a little bit of those soft skills like self-advocacy. So our students have some practice with that, and they have the help of their professors, myself, our college advisors, their guidance counselors, et cetera. So our pathways at Fitchburg High, they can kind of select from these career-aligned, academic pathways. So we have business, education, criminal justice, healthcare, and then your general liberal arts and science classes. So, for example, excuse me, these are the classes that we offered this school year at Fitchburg High School. So our students had, lots of choices and lots of different content areas. All of these classes were close to capacity. A lot of them were. We had wait lists for some, so we're really pleased with the number of students that are taking college classes. It was 134 this year, juniors and seniors. And then just a little highlight from last year, we actually had Governor Healy and many other elected officials, local and state, to our library for a student panel on our Early College Academy, and about 20 of our students spoke to their experiences and the benefits that they found from early college. It was a really wonderful morning, and they got to really kind of highlight the benefits to them being an early college student. So now, kind of on the college track also, onto our Future Educator Academy. That's a partnership between the Fitchburg Public Schools and Fitchburg State University. The Future Educator Academy really hopes to support and encourage students from Fitchburg to pursue a variety of the rewarding careers in education. So we really hope to recruit and train students that reflect our diverse population. We want to diversify the field of education here in Fitchburg so that to reflect the changing demographics of our nation, and have students be able to, work with students who look like them and come from families like theirs, et cetera. The goals are to engage high school future educators with Fitchburg State in meaningful ways, always free of charge, diversify the field of education to reflect the changing population, and focus on culturally relevant education that values all students' cultural, linguistic, and ethnic contributions as teachers of the future. So some of the benefits of being a part of this pathway: you receive a leadership certificate from Fitchburg State. You build your resume and gain transferable experience. So you can participate in internships within Fitchburg Public Schools. You can work in our after-school programs. There's opportunities for community engagement. There's also opportunities to become an active member of Fitchburg State's community. Students gain access to different resources at Fitchburg State when they become a part of the Future Educator Academy. There's the alignment with the Early College Academy as well. So when future educators become juniors and seniors at Fitchburg High, they can start to take those education courses through Fitchburg State that allow them to earn university credits. There's really a highway to admission at Fitchburg State. When you're a part of the Future Educator Academy, you're kind of treated with care as you apply and become accepted to Fitchburg State University, and there's also some great financial assistance that comes with being a part of it. And then collaborating with districts regarding employment post-graduation. So it's a little bit blurry, but we kind of have this little roadmap from being a high school student at Fitchburg High to all the way to being guaranteed a job in the Fitchburg Public Schools. And so I won't read through it all, but there's enrollment support, there's financial support, there's opportunities for grants each semester for students that are involved. And then upon completion of a bachelor's degree in education from Fitchburg State, Fitchburg Public Schools has guaranteed them some form of employment after their graduation. And that could be a teaching position, it could be a paraprofessional position, it could be a long-term substitute position, whatever it might be that's kind of in their area of interest. So just some highlights. We currently have about 75 Fitchburg high school students, grades 9 through 12, who have identified themselves as future educators. 25 of those students attended our last training session on the FSU campus that we held in December. 31 juniors and seniors are enrolled in our education classes this year through our Early College Academy. And last spring, 10 Fitchburg high school seniors completed 100-hour internships each at Crocker and Rheingold Elementary Schools with some of our amazing teachers. Onto the innovation pathways. So the innovation career pathways are designed to give students coursework and experience in a specific high-demand industry such as infotechnology, engineering, healthcare, life sciences, and advanced manufacturing. The pathways are designed to create strong partnerships with employers in order to expose students to career options and help them develop the knowledge and skills related to their chosen field before they graduate from high school. So similarly, Innovation Pathways was also launched by DESE in 2017 as a part of that same high-quality college and career pathways initiative. The primary goals of the program are to contextualize student learning, engage students in their high school experience, and lead them to opportunities in meaningful careers in relevant industry sectors upon their completion for post-secondary education and training. So again, those same 5 guiding principles that lead early college's work also lead the work for Innovation Pathways. The pathways that we currently have at Fitchburg High School are advanced manufacturing and environmental and life science. Advanced manufacturing is a little bit older. We got that designation in 2020. And then environmental and life science were really just kind of hitting the ground running. We received the designation in the spring of 2022. When you're building your pathway, there are some core pieces that the pathway needs to have. So the course sequence needs to have 2 technical courses, so that's anything in the industry sector. So for example, our manufacturing pathway, it would be manufacturing 1, manufacturing 2. They need to have 2 advanced courses, and so those really should be something that is college credit bearing in some way. So it could be a dual enrollment class. It could also be an AP course where the students can test to then get that college credit. There is a 100-hour internship or capstone experience that the student completes in their senior year. And then each student should have an individual MyCap plan, which is really a plan that starts as early as freshman year or even in middle school sometimes for students to really plan out and map their career goals. These are some of the amazing local partners that we've worked with to develop those close collaborations for our innovation pathways. So for manufacturing and for environmental and life science, we work with these partners to develop our curriculum, run ideas by them, talk about those internship and capstone experiences, and try to get students as much of that real-world connection as possible. And then just some highlights over the past year for innovation pathways. Last year, in 2023, we had 31 of our advanced manufacturing students graduate with their MACWIC certification. And when we talk to our industry partners in manufacturing, you know, they say any credentials that students can come in with is amazing. So they receive their MACWIC. They also receive their OSHA 10 certification. So even just that, if a student's able to put that on their resume, they're already sort of a leg up from somebody who just comes in for an entry-level position off the street. And, you know, they say, depending what courses they might list to, if they know that they have training in things like safety and quality control, that really moves them up in the eyes of the people reading those applications. 20 of our students attended the manufacturing mashup event at Polar Park. Employers from Jabil, AIS, Rocheleau, SMC, they all toured our manufacturing wing and met with some of our students and staff regarding our program and partnerships. The FHS manufacturing staff attended the Mass Hire Central Manufacturing Talent Pipeline Summit. 40 of our manufacturing and tech ed students attended the Mass Makes Innovation Challenge this year at the Basketball Hall of Fame. That one was pretty cool. The environmental science team at FHS met with the department head up at Mount Wachusett for environmental science, Heather Kahn, to discuss our goals for the pathway, career opportunities specific to this region that she sees in, you know, working with her college students, and then potential partnership opportunities. And 6 seniors so far have expressed their interest in pursuing manufacturing internships this spring. And last but not least, our newest pathway that we're really excited about, the MVP Academy. So what is MVP Academy? It's a brand new partnership with Monty Tech beginning in fall of 2024. It's coming quick. Juniors and seniors from Fitchburg High School, Gardner High School, and Narragansett Regional High School will all be able to participate in Monty Tech's carpentry and electrical programs, all while remaining enrolled at their home high school. So a little background on that. DESE's Chapter 74 Partnership Program allows school districts offering Chapter 74 VOC education to partner with public school districts that don't offer those certifications, an educational opportunity that would not otherwise exist. So there's an altered schedule for participating students. They're going to get their core academics at their local high school and then their 900 plus total hours of Chapter 74 instruction at the technical school. There's alignment with regional economic and workforce development priorities, labor market demand. There's an MOU between the districts for fiscal and programmatic components, consultation with CTE schools, program advisory committee, qualified instructional personnel, and equitable admissions criteria. So a little kind of roadmap of what that will look like for our students at Fitchburg High. Freshman year, they come in, pass all your classes, maintain good grades, attendance, and start to talk with your guidance counselor and your family if this is something that you think you might be interested in. Sophomore year is an important year, so if it is something that you do decide you are really interested in, we'll have students apply during their 10th grade year because the program is a 2-year commitment that students will do for their junior and senior year. So if you are accepted into the MVP Academy, congratulations, your junior year, now you are attending classes for your academics at Fitchburg High, and you're attending your shop training at Monty Tech. And that goes the same for your senior year with the addition of participating in a co-op in your trade. And then at the end, you're graduating with a Fitchburg High School diploma and a certificate in your trade from Monty Tech. Best of both worlds. So what will it look like? So the same way that Monty Tech does the A week, B week schedule, our students will be doing the same thing. So they're going to rotate between their academics and shop. So in academic week, students will attend school at Fitchburg High, take classes with FHS staff. They'll take their core academic classes, so English, math, history, and science. They will be cohorted together. So there will be, I didn't put this in there, we have 52 spots for our students, 26 juniors and 26 seniors. We have the most spots out of the 3 sending districts just because of the size of our school. So we're really excited about that. There's so many of our students that are going to be able to benefit from this program. So juniors and seniors will flip-flop. So the juniors will be at Fitchburg High one week, the seniors will be at Fitchburg High the next week, and they'll swap with each other. And they will, have to double up on their academics on the weeks that they're there to get the full year in. So those weeks will be high, heavy academics, but then the next week is their shop week, and that's where they get to have all sorts of fun. So they'll participate in shop training, shop-related classes, and work-based learning during their time at Monty Tech. What trades will be available? We have carpentry and electrical, and then there's also a plan to add plumbing in 2026. Can anyone guess what the average salaries were for these trades last year in Massachusetts?
$80,000.
75 to 80,000.
Okay.
Electrician?
Either.
200,000.
So average last year for Massachusetts, almost very close when you said 80,000. So for an electrician, it was just under $80,000, and for carpenters, it was about 62.5. So. Through these and other pathways offered at the high school, we really want to support students in finding gainful employment after high school. We want them to earn a living wage, be able to support themselves, support their families, and hopefully remain here as a part of our community by living and working in the city of Fitchburg. So if you have any questions, you can reach me at my email. I'm happy to speak with any about our programs, have you up to chat about them, to check some stuff out, talk to students. But yeah, thank you for having me.
Emma.
Thank you so much.
Questions for Emma?
Emma, I have a question on going back to the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
My question is the entrance qualifications. How different from that is that from Monty Tech?
It's going to be very different.
I hope so. I mean,
yeah. So we essentially our one main entry to admission is going to be that they have to be on track with their year of graduation. That's essentially the only
concerned
barrier.
about those kids who've been having some difficulty.
Yep. Yeah.
Some conduct problems.
Mm-hmm. So there's no restrictions around things like attendance, conduct, GPA, nothing like that. Our one thing is we do need students to be going into their junior year. They need to have the correct number of credits to actually make them a junior. Yep. So they can do summer school to make those up. They can, take time in between their freshman and sophomore years to get those credits. But once they're in the program, they need to have as many credits as a true junior because there's really not a lot of wiggle room once they are in this kind of intensive process. But
my concern, are those kids who have some difficulty, and they get excluded from Monty Tech.
Yes.
Because they might have gotten a little bit of trouble somewhere along the line. I just don't want to see that. I want this program to meet the needs of kids who really need a vocational education and not somebody who wants to go to Monty Tech to go to Worcester Tech.
Yeah, so do we. And so we put out a survey to students. I presented on MVP in our last advisory on Friday morning. And so we put out a survey at the end, and most of the students who did express interest, we put a question on there, have you applied to Monty Tech in the past? And if so, why didn't you go? And most of the answers were that they weren't accepted or they were waitlisted. So we know that we have a large number of students who missed the boat on Monty Tech eighth grade going into freshman year for whatever reason. We want to serve those students. So yeah, just having the credits is really the kind of thing that we need them to have. They don't have to have a perfect GPA or attendance or anything like that, but we want them to be serious about it. We want them to express interest through their application. We're probably going to ask them to do a couple little short responses and really tell us why they want to be a part of it. It is a 2-year commitment, so we want them to take it seriously, but we do want to serve those students who really wanted it in the beginning and didn't get that opportunity. The other piece is if we do have more applications than we do the 52 spots, we will make it a true lottery.
I think,
Ms. England?
Yeah, actually, I was just curious about transportation, where they're going to be doing the class time in the Fitchburg High School and the shop time, I guess you would call it, at Monty Tech. So is there a plan for transportation?
Yeah, so there's actually an annex building that they're building out currently. So it's not going to be in the main Monty Tech building. It's going to be...
it's across the street from the mill, that old factory.
Right next to where
Renovating that
Il-Ricordi was.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so they're...
37, no, I can't think.
240 Westminster?
Westminster Street, yeah.
Westminster Street.
Yep.
The old restaurant and
What's
the
that restaurant called?
Il-Ricordi.
storage building next to it.
Right there. So they're building that out now, specifically for MVP Academy. So our students and the students from Gardner and Narragansett will attend there. And as far as busing goes, this was actually a large topic of conversation in all of our planning, and it's how we really landed on the schedule that we did, because transportation was one of the main concerns. So because Monty Tech's buses already go to all of the sending districts, our students will take the Fitchburg High School bus when they're going to Fitchburg High School, and they'll be added to the Monty Tech bus stops when they go to Monty Tech. Yeah.
Ms. Reynolds?
Have you anticipated a dropout rate, and how might you deal with that?
We haven't anticipated that yet. We're still in the planning stages. There's still a lot of things that need to be ironed out. We do know that we're going to have students that leave, and some of those reasons will be ones that are unavoidable. Families move, things change. So when we do talk about applications, being a true lottery and being open to all, that's why we say we want to have a lot of the conversations with the kids, because as much as possible, we want to avoid having students leave the program once they're in, because once it's really rolling, they can't jump in halfway,
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so there's still questions around that, but I think, speaking with guidance counselors, having real meetings with the families, we're going to have mandatory parent information sessions. We really want everyone to understand what they're signing up for.
I remember, just as an example, there was the high school presented a competitive robot team here.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the boys wasn't in whatever courses that would normally lead him to participate, but he was so eager to, they let him join, and he was a great part of it,
Yeah.
So there might be some auxiliary, should somebody drop out.
Yeah, those are...
Might have been used their spare time to try to, be part of it.
Yeah, those
Just
are
a thought.
questions. Yeah. No, those are questions. We're still meeting a lot within our internal team. So we have meetings weekly with the high school team just at Fitchburg High School. But then we also meet with the whole MVP team. So we come together with the superintendent from Monty Tech, the superintendents and principals, and people in my role from all the districts. And we sit together and we ask a lot of those questions.
Well, I have your attention. There's also maybe perhaps a question of language.
Yes. So we actually, when we did do our survey, we had many of our English language learners fill out the interest survey and say that they were interested. And so we've had discussions with Monty Tech about our students with language needs, as well as our students with IEPs and 504s. We're going to serve all of those students. Monty Tech says that they are fully prepared to serve those students. And we've had some great meetings with the special education administrators from each district as well, just to talk about, it's hard to know because we don't know who the students will be yet, but once we do know who they're going to be, we can really work to tailor it to their, to their experience.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So when they go to Westminster Street for their shop every other week. They'll be working with students from the other districts as well.
Yeah,
That's-
yeah.
That's good.
Which I think will be fun for good for them. And, you know, like I said, we have 26 spots per grade level. I want to say Gardner has 20 and Gansett maybe has like 10.
10, yeah.
Or 12?
I think you're right. I think it's 10, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. We have the most.
We do, but I think it'll be really nice for them to kind of collaborate with other students from other districts that have similar interests to them, and just kind of, you know, just one more thing to have under their belt.
When did you say that the, not electrical, plumbing was coming? Was it?
There's a plan for plumbing in 2026. Yeah, they have these two to start. When we did the original application and MOU that we submitted last year, it was for carpentry and electrical, but they really hope to be able to add plumbing as well. They really are trying to base it on the needs in our region. And, you know, we've had Mass Hire come on board and really kind of confirm for us that those needs are there. So we want to follow where the needs are for our students.
Awesome.
I just am so impressed with all of these different programs that, you know, it seems like we're trying to meet the needs of every student in Fitchburg.
Yeah.
And I love that. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Is this intended the MVP Academy for the 2024-2025 school year?
It is, yep. Yeah, we're going to start.
We're working on it now.
We are. I have a meeting tomorrow, and then
we have a planning meeting Friday, right? Yeah.
Yep, we have one on Friday with the whole team, with the other districts, and we're really going to start digging into like info sessions and recruiting later this month, and hoping to let students know, you know, by the end of March, beginning of May, what, you know, their application statuses are.
Nice. And the Early College Academy with Mount Wachusett and the Future Educated Academy, Fitchburg State, do these include off-site education opportunities at Mount Wachusett and Fitchburg State? Or
They do, yeah. So it's kind of like a pro and con that the professors come to us, right? Because it does eliminate that barrier of transportation. It's so easy for the students. The professors come right to us. It's blended within their school day. But then you do miss that real world piece of like being on a college campus. So we do try and do as many kind of like outings as we can. So, for example, when we do the new round of applications for Early College Academy this spring, for the upcoming juniors, our current 10th graders, we'll have that like on the Mount Wachusett campus. So we try and get them there as much as we can, whether it's for a special event or just a college tour. Like we'll ask the kids if there's a college that they'd really like to see and set up a field trip. But I know it's like a blessing and a curse that they come to us, because I would love to get them on the campuses, but
it's a different mindset.
Yeah, and with our schedule and the transportation piece, it's just not doable for us right now. But that's where I'm jealous of Gardner. Mount Wachusett is like, it's like in their backyard. The kids just like walk right over, basically. Yeah.
But one of the other pieces I wanted to highlight was the Future Educator Academy. That whole plan that we've developed in Fitchburg, how you go, you know, start in the education club at the high school, work your way to Fitchburg State, and then graduate, and then come and work for us, and you're guaranteed a job. That model, there's a lot of school districts that are stealing that model and using it in their district because of us. So that's something to be proud of.
Yeah.
So,
Mr. Thompson's just, I don't want to embarrass him, but she's a
She
homegrown,
is.
she's a
I
homegrown
heard, yes,
product.
I know that,
She
yeah.
is, you know, she is Rheingold Memorial, Fitchburg High School. Yeah.
So I do want to acknowledge Emma Broussard, Dr. Braga. Who are the other teachers that helped us? Mr. Gentile in the guidance department.
Oh, for MVP?
For MVP.
Oh, yeah.
'Cause
Oh,
they've
my
done
gosh.
so much work with it.
It has. It's been a lot of work.
There's-
The guidance department's been amazing. Mr. Gentile, Mr. Jake Olson,
Yep.
Brenda Stewart. But
There's more, and we're forgetting you. We're sorry.
I know.
I can't remember everyone's names, but
7:30 on a Monday. I'm sorry.
they have done a phenomenal job from last year planning all this
Yep.
and getting this up to where we are today.
Mr. Roach, of course.
Mr. Roach,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Mr. Roach has
He and I sat in
been
a room last
instrumental
year,
in a lot of these
plugging away at that
programs.
application
Yep.
for a long time. But yeah, it's going to be amazing for our students who didn't have that opportunity to start their high school experience. For them to not realize that they'd be able to end it that way, I think is going to be pretty special for a group of them. So.
You know, Mr. Roach feels very proud. He's homesick tonight. I should have mentioned that earlier. But he's seen And he's developed a lot of these programs in his former role at Fitchburg High School. So it's actually, I'm sure he can actually talk about, he's a proud papa on the other end of this call because he's really seen these in their beginning stages and now where they're at and seeing how many students are benefiting from it. It's awesome to see.
Yeah, can I make a comment, Mr. Thompson?
Absolutely.
If I unplug, will we be able to see him again?
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, Emma, for the summary of the presentation. And congratulations to you, to the team at Fitchburg High School. Like Mr. Thompson said, so many of these programs, so many of these initiatives have been multiple year, many steps, many iterations of, applications, grants, and just countless meetings, all with the end goal in mind, which is to help our kids have as many possible opportunities to find the success in their life that we want to see. And, I really feel like this MVP piece right now makes Fitchburg High School truly, as the Department of Ed describes them, a comprehensive high school. They always refer to us as a traditional high school because we didn't have those vocational technical experiences. So advanced manufacturing, environmental life, and now adding in these types of Chapter 74, as they describe, vocational technical programs is so amazing for kids. And it's a great, proud moment for Fitchburg Public Schools. Again, thank you to you, Emma, and everybody else who's really made this happen. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Emma.
Emma, I had a thought, and you mentioned that you're talking to everybody, still lots of conversations going. I wonder if you might not consider that there may be a student or some students that might come up with a creative idea, and that you might foresee that, and should they do that, aid them in that development. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, our, in terms of the MVP Academy or just our pathways in general?
Who knows when creativity is going to arise?
Yeah. No, our students, especially, I would say our manufacturing and our environmental and life science staff and teachers, they do all kinds of really cool stuff with the students. It's separate from the pathway, but our Envirothon students were just doing all kinds of waste management, not waste management, waste surveys in the cafeteria, food waste surveys. They're working with the food service department up at central office. They've got all kinds of cool ideas.
Right.
They're awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Emma.
Thank you.
No. Thank you, Emma. All right, so we are in the last section of our items for this evening. So the first item is our budget items. We have 2 donations, 2 grants to submit, and 3 grants to accept. The donations this evening, we have 2 donations from Global Partners, both from Global Partners in the amount of $500 each. The monies will support the Fitchburg High School Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Department. The other grants, the 2 grants that we are accepting this evening, are submitting this evening. The first one is the Commonwealth Preschool Partnership Grant, also known as the CPPI grant, in the amount of $50,000. This grant will help us develop partnerships between the school district and local private early education and care programs to expand access to high-quality preschool within the district, with particular attention to addressing existing barriers, including but not limited to costs and access to special education services. So this $50,000 is just a planning or kind of a feasibility grant for us to actually come together with the local early childhood providers in the city and the district and to see if this is actual feasible piece. If we get this grant, we'll do this work beginning this year and ending in the summer and decide what our next steps will be. And this will hopefully add additional preschool spots throughout the city for students.
Are you done?
I am, Rosemary,
okay.
Yes.
I didn't want to
Yes.
preempt your I looked up this global, the Slifka family and the Worldwide Global Group, COP, and I can't go along with this without knowing a heck of a lot more about who they are and what they are. Based in New York, big wealthy family that had a lot of enmity in it and involved in real estate and, my goodness, European. I don't know why somebody with all of these affiliations throughout the world want to give us a check for $500. I think it might just be a camel's nose under the tent. So I would like us to look up and know who we're dealing with to receive any monies from that group.
Okay, thank you, Rosemary. All right, the next grant that we will be submitting is the Promoting Safe and Healthy Learning Environments, Elevating Student Voice and Wellbeing in the amount of $40,000. The purpose of this grant is to support districts and schools in elevating student voice in order to strengthen safe, supportive, and healthy learning environments from preschool through grade 12. And then 3 grants that we've received and we are accepting this evening. The first one is a behavioral health supports grant from the Mass Department of Public Health for $100,000. The funding is intended to help support the provision of school-based behavioral health services and to create safe and supportive school environments that are responsive to the impact of trauma, including gun violence and other forms of violence on student learning and well-being. The next is the 21st Century High School Internship Grant from the Mass Department of Education in the amount of $30,000. These funds will be used to provide high school students interested in the education field with a school year internship program that will enable them to gain valuable experience and provide additional support to K-8 students in our current 21st century before and after school programs during the school year and also during the summer. So this will help actually pay for students at the high school to actually work K-8 in our after-school programs during the school year and also in the summer. And the last one is the Mass Cultural Society Grant. That's a state grant for $1,407, which will help fund and support the drama program at Memorial Middle School. And policy items, we have 2 policies this evening. And Ms. Jeffries, please chime in if I miss anything. The first policy that is up for second reading is the attendance at high school policy. We went back and we removed the no credit policy for attendance. The Fitchburg High attendance policy stated that once a certain amount of unexcused absences were accumulated, students were unable to get credit for the course regardless of the grade they earned in the course. This revised policy removes the punitive aspect of the policy where students have already missed the work and instructional time. And then the last policy this evening for your approval, and I think this is actually for the first reading, is for the automated, for the AED, it's the AED policy. And this will, the changes in this policy are just updating it with the new language and practices. The last time we adopted this policy was in 2011, so it's 13 years old, and we are recommending an update with this policy to reflect the new practices.
So I would make the request that we hold 24354 and 24355 out in case you want to put them all together.
We have a motion to hold. Do we have a second?
Which, the 2 $500 grants?
Yeah, yes, from Global Partners.
So do you mean to vote on those separately?
Yes.
Okay.
Because you may want to tie the others together, bundle.
This was a motion to hold 24354 and 355.
Yes, separate.
Make a comment?
Sorry, I'm just curious to know your concern. I wanted to lift up that I looked up Global Partners. They have been donating to schools across the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic since June 5th, 2022. So this is actually really known. It's actually in the news that they give small grants to schools across the district for $500. It is not atypical, and I just wanted to lift that up just to be able to support Fitchburg High School so that we're not putting a hold on it.
Thank you, Ms. Science and technology.
Yeah, but, you know, when you look up global partners, you find an awful lot about it and about it's the Slifka family from New York, and it goes.
Okay, as a point of order, there's a motion to hold. Do we have a second? Seeing no second, I will accept another motion for 24354 and 24355.
Motion to approve 24354 and 24355.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and second. Do we have any comment on the motion?
No more than I've given already. I would like to hold it out and do more investigation, but.
Okay. Any comment? Okay. All, we have approval on the motion. All opposed? All in approval?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. One in opposition. And that motion passes.
We need to go back to 24355.
24353 was taken up earlier in the agenda.
Yeah, we voted.
Did we vote it?
Did they vote
That's
already?
right, yeah,
They did.
all right, thank you, Jim. Yep, thank you.
I'll make a motion to bundle 24-356 through 24-359.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? Thank you. Motion and second to bundle these for approval. Any comment on the motion? Okay.
You want to make a motion for all of them?
That was the motion, correct?
Yep.
Motion for approval of all?
Actually, I believe we made a motion to bundle, which we have to vote on.
We have to vote on the bundle.
Okay,
We
a
have to vote on
motion.
the bundle.
Okay, we have a motion and second to bundle. All approved?
Yep.
Aye.
Okay. Any in opposition? All right, that is unanimous.
Make a motion to accept the bundle, approve the bundle, I'm sorry.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and second to approve the bundle. Any comment? Okay, all approved?
Aye.
Any in opposition? That is unanimous. Okay, we have no executive session.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion and second to adjourn. I'll take this under unanimous consent. We're adjourned. Thank you.